Here's how I want you to set up for seated wide stance good morning with dumbbells. I would suggest using a box or a bench and actually sit on the corner so that you're kind of straddling the corner of the box of the bench. Take your feet wide, turn your toes out, drop your palms to face you. From here, I'm gonna hinge my hips back and reach my dumbbells down. So I have about half of my thighs supported by the bench, and I'm aiming to reach back with my pelvis, sit straight back up. My seat actually lifts off the bench if I get enough pelvic tilt. Now, the client I've programmed this for is recovering from a hamstring injury, and having the box or bench under your seat will give you a little bit more support as you're leaning into loading hamstrings and finding that end range flexion. A way to progress the seated variation is I'd ask the same client to do the exact same setup standing. So I'm gonna take feet wide with toes turned out, a little bit of knee bend, palms facing me with my dumbbells in front, and I'm gonna hinge my hips straight back and then extend at the hip at the top. I'm gonna keep a little bit of knee bend even at the top of my hip extension. I hinge my hips back, and even though at the top I'm extending my hips, I keep a little bit of a healthy bend in my knees to make sure that I'm really focused on squeezing my glute at the top. So if the seated variation feels safe, you can move to the unsupported version with dumbbells standing.